There are some types of homes in Fort Worth that can cost you tens of thousands in missed appreciation or costly repairs. But if you choose right, you can jump years ahead financially. I've helped several thousand families buy and sell in the Fort Worth area and the surrounding suburbs. And today, I'm breaking down the exact types of homes you should buy. All right, so let's kick off with the first strategy. Follow the retailers. You shouldn't really choose neighborhoods that everyone is already talking about. I think you should follow the retailers. And I know it sounds a little crazy at first, but like grocery stores really, like in Texas, this is a big deal. The move has helped our clients buy into areas that later jump 15 to 20% in value just in their first year. So why does this work? Because big retailers, they don't gamble. They're not dumb. When they commit to a new store, they've already done months of research. They don't spend millions unless they know growth is coming. So let's take HEB, which is a local Texas grocery store. They just opened a brand new store in Alliance, in Prosper. They've got another in Salina. They've got another one. I'm pretty sure another one in Salina coming this year. They announced they've got one in Denton. And you may have heard about that, but they've also got one that just opened, like I said, in Alliance, North Fort Worth. I also believe HEB is expanding into Flower Mound. But they're super picky. So whenever they move in, property values usually follow. And if you buy just outside of these areas, you're likely to see your home grow slower than normal. So if you're stepping out and you're in a different area that doesn't have these strong retailers, you're likely to see your home grow slower than the identical house just a few minutes closer. So that gap compounds over time. Now, take Costco. They're doing the same thing, just faster. HEB has opened up a store in Allen recently. They just opened one in Prosper. They've got another one, like I mentioned, in Salina, Denton, Flower Mound. They're all getting an HEB store. They get in early when they see the growth curve, like the $3 billion project coming in, or Taylor Sheridan's production company building a production campus in conjunction with Paramount's TV arm. Either way, these are the types of developments, and when you see what that level of retail investment is, the big players believe in the long-term value of that area. But there's also the payoff for the homeowners. Properties near these retailers properties near the retail anchors, they don't just get more convenient, they appreciate faster because you're literally in the path of growth. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the population and corporate growth context, because we're in Texas and we have to talk about this. Fort Worth added nearly 178,000 new residents in just 1 year, and corporate relocation are driving the retail and the residential growth, specifically in Collin and Denton County. Salina has Walmart coming, and that's going to change Salina. They've also got Home Depot, Lowe's, and that's just the first piece of it. Finding growth before the crowd, the next step though isn't just where you buy, but when you buy. So if you get this wrong, it could cost you $50,000 in timing alone. Actually, the number one retailer you should keep an eye out that will give you an indication that an area is about to transition or explode in growth is Starbucks. So when you see a new Starbucks going in, especially if there's open fields around, know that the new developments are coming. And if Starbucks goes into an existing community, then likely gentrification is probably going to start happening in that area if it's an older community. But Starbucks, they're no dummies either. All right, so the next thing is master planned phases. All right, so there's some pros and cons here. Now, here's the deal on timing your buy in a master plan community. Now, if you do this right, the strategy has saved our clients up to $50,000 while getting them into the neighborhoods that they wanted to as well at the same time. So that's the part of what a lot of buyers get wrong. They think phase one is always the best deal. And that's not always the case. But the right phase could save you money or even cost you money over time. But phase one does have its perks. So prices usually entry level, they're at the lowest in the first phase. And sometimes you get options to customize. So the appreciation potential is high because you're in early, but there are the trade-offs. I mean, you're surrounded by all the construction, flat tires, and don't get me started with that. Flat tires are really annoying. You might wait for years for some amenities to go in. So that's one of the downsides. And the community vibe isn't quite there yet. So you don't have neighbors maybe next door immediately. So the builder incentives in phase one could be pretty big. But right now, think about like Castle Rock Communities. They're offering deals up to $125,000. And so we're talking about rate buy downs, closing cost credits, design allowances, even waiving some of the lot premiums. So the best part is that when you line up this strategy with the 3+ year construction sweet spot, I mean, we're going to cover that in a minute, but that doesn't make any sense. What? The best part is that when you line up the strategy with the 3+ year post-construction sweet spot, I'm going to cover here in a minute, you're set up for appreciation and stability. And so that combo is pretty rare in Fort Worth. But if you look at phase two and phase three, they come with their own wins. By then, typically amenities are done. Landscaping is matured or complete, and you can see how the builder did in phase one as well. I mean, you know, their quality, how fast they can build, and if they can fix problems that may come up. So here's how the later phase wins with amenities and some examples. So you take Windsong Ranch, for example, the Blue Lagoon is already done. You know, that's been done for a while. Commons, their main area is complete. They just opened the bridge and new amenity center and a park area. They've got another pickleball court coming. They're still finalizing the last phase of Windsong Ranch. And when you buy in a later phase, I mean, you're not sitting waiting on hopes and prayers. You know what you're going to get and enjoy the amenities typically right away. So think about it like this. One community, Canyon Falls, it's in Flower Mound. They've got pools, fitness centers, trails already done. You walk in knowing exactly what you're buying. I mean, there's no guessing. And I've seen communities that have promised certain amenity centers, I won't mention any names, and they didn't complete them. Not only did they not complete them in 20 years that it's been under development, you know, it's not a year too late. Like, this is decades late, and who knows if it's actually going to happen. If you pick the wrong phase, you could end up with the same house as your neighbor, except that they paid less. So, you know, the point of this is, you know, they got $50,000 in incentives and really enjoy the amenities for years to come, but also even waiting till maybe the end of the quarter. This is really when builders they'll really drop prices when you get close to that inventory closeout. So sometimes they're willing to make an even bigger hit whenever you hit some of those cycles. But of course, timing matters. It's not, you know, builder timing. It's also what's happening in your life. So it's not the only factor. I mean, families, one risk outweighs, you know, incentives, which is rezoning schools. And that's our next issue that you need to keep an eye out for. We dealt with that personally about 15 years ago, and it was not fun. By the way, we're the #1 relocation team here in Fort Worth, and we've helped thousands of families navigate these neighborhoods every single year. So on this channel, I share all these insider tips that could literally save you thousands on your next purchase. So if you don't mind, please subscribe so you don't miss out. It really does help the channel. It helps me keep making these videos for you. Turn on the notifications as well so that you know every time we have a market change. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is school stability. The next strategy is pretty big. If you're buying a family home because it's about school districts with stable boundaries, you know, that stability will protect your home value and give your kids some consistency year after year. So think about this. You buy a home for the schools and then 2 years later, your kids get rezoned. We dealt with that. I mean, this happening more often than you can think, and it can flip the value of your home or disrupt your kid's school, which is even worse. Let me give you some other examples. Let's look at Carroll ISD in Southlake. They're ranked #1 in Fort Worth. They scored like straight A's in the T ratings. And then you got Highland Park, which is one of the best in the state. Carroll ISD is ranked number 5 statewide as well. So they have pretty stable boundaries and steady enrollment, which is really what you should be looking for. Plano ISD, Frisco ISD both rank high, academically, but the big difference is that Frisco ISD usually keeps boundaries stable. They're somewhat landlocked. Plano ISD has some boundary changes this year because of closure and shifting enrollment. So right there could make or break your investment. One thing I want to mention is Southlake is experiencing some campus changes, and it's because they're aging out. I was in a meeting recently with the mayor of Southlake, and he was talking about the growth of the city and the changing just demographics of the city by age. And he was talking about the prior year, there were over 700 seniors graduating, but now he's looking at the early elementary grade age. There's like 400. So almost a 50% reduction, not quite, but almost a 50% reduction that's on its way to graduate in Southlake. So they're going to have to deal with some of those changes as time goes on. And that's something that you really need to know about and pay attention. These are the things that we pay attention to so we can give that information to you and talk those things through with our clients. Because if you have younger kids, it is something that you need to be aware of, is that 5-10 years down the road, there's a strong chance that some of these campuses may just not be able to stay open. So something to pay attention to. Next up, I want to talk about how growth impacts different areas. So Fort Worth also has some strong schools. I mean, 4 of them rank in Texas in the top 10, and 1 is even top 10 in the nation. So the School for Talented and Gifted at Yvonne makes that national list every year. But remember, Fort Worth ISD still makes boundary changes. Families near Foster and Withers Elementary have already felt that. So the biggest risk, though, is probably going to be Prosper and Salina, which are growing like crazy. They've added more than 800 residents alone in Salina. So enrollment is set to quadruple by 2033 to 2034. And in May, they approved a $2.3 billion bond to build 11 new schools, including another high school. So with that type of growth, boundary changes are guaranteed. It doesn't mean that Salina is a bad place, but you need to know the downside or the upside of rezoning. So your kids might start in one school and they might finish in another. And that can hit both your family's experience, your home's value, and just the continuity of your kids' relationships. And if you buy in the wrong district, I mean, you could lose the stability of your family. We've seen it happen. So, we certainly don't want that for our clients. So, really you're looking for, just stability within the school district. Next thing I want to talk about is builder quality and foundation. Even the best district can't really protect you if your builder's cutting corners. They could be cutting corners before they even break ground. And we've seen that happen too, where they're using just trash to fill up and build up land. Of course, this is pretty important, but I want to talk about is the biggest mistake that Fort Worth buyers can make, which is picking their home builder. But that mistake could cost you tens of thousands. Foundation repairs, finishes are great, but what really matters is the foundation and how will it last over the next 20, 10, 30 years. Of course, in Fort Worth, it's a pretty big deal. We have clay soil. It expands up to 75% when it gets wet. That's like 14,000 pounds of pressure per square foot. So if the foundation isn't built right, that kind of pressure will just tear it in half. So what do? You look at the warranties. Now, always double check, but builders should have a standard 1 to 10 year home warranty for the foundation, not like fixing the fixtures, but the foundation, which is a big deal. So 1 year for workmanship, you got 2 years for systems and 10 years for structural. Although some recent legislation in 2024, they might downgrade that 10 year to 6 years on the foundation. So stay tuned for that. The foundation warranty could include some soil movement, but keep in mind that's not always included. So some soil issues are left out. So make sure you always look at the fine print. But the best builders, they don't really stop there. They get soil reports from licensed engineers. So these reports show how the foundation should be designed. Not every builder does this, but it's something you should always ask for. Now, foundation repair warranties often offer lifetime coverage, which sounds good, but the real key is to find the builder who rarely needs to use that warranty. If it was built right in the first place, but you skip that step, one crack in the foundation could erase years of savings. And the worst part of that is many warranties don't even cover the type of soil movement that's really the most common in Fort Worth. So how do you avoid the foundation issue altogether? It's finding a home that's in that sweet spot. There's one way to do it, and that's the next issue we'll discuss. So what age range should we be looking at? It's homes where foundations have already settled, but the warranties are still in place. So hardly anyone really talks about this, but it could be a game changer. So this is really how it works. Homes hit that sweet spot when they're old enough to already have settled, but still new enough for the warranties to be in place. So if you think about brand new homes move around in the first few years as the soil shifts under the weight. I mean, most buyers, they either grab brand new homes or go for much older homes, and they skip right over this little window. And think about the science of this for a second. Foundations settled mostly between 6 and 18 months from the construction being complete, and things usually level out by year 3. After the repair, homes and the clay soil need another 4 to 6 weeks to resettle. So these numbers aren't random. They come from years of Fort Worth market data, but what most people don't realize is that the structural warranties cover 1 year of workmanship, 1 to 2 years of systems, and 10 years for structural issues. They do transfer to the next owner typically, and that's a big deal. So the warranty transfer, most builder warranties cover the structural problems for 10 years or 6 to 10 years based on legislation. And that's based on when the home was built, not whenever you buy it. So if you pick up a 3-year-old home because it was a spec home, you might still have 7 years of coverage. So that's a pretty big safety net, not on a home that's already gone through. It's a shifting phase. I mean, some premium builders even offer lifetime transferable warranties, which really gives you peace of mind and protection without wondering if your foundation is going to crack during those years. And if it does, it's covered. Builder incentives are the strongest we've seen. You've got rate buydowns, closing cost credits, design center allowances, anything you could ask for almost. Even if you pay a little more for a settled home, chances are the seller's got incentives that they may pass on in the price. So that little sweet spot strategy has saved our clients on many transactions tens of thousands of dollars. And that helps them get into the house that's, broken in, but not broken down. At the end of it all, the real power comes from whenever you can stack these strategies together. So think about the timing, stable schools, trusted builders, and then if you find the rare Fort Worth homes that were built really well, then this is going to set you up for the long term. All right, how can we help? So if you want some help finding that perfect home, reach out. My business partner, Mindy, and I, the team, we would love to help you and your family with your next move in the Fort Worth area or one of the suburbs of North Texas. But also subscribe for those insider strategies that you see. If you want to check out which neighborhoods you should absolutely avoid, you want to check out the next video, which is on the screen. And to contact us, that's also on the screen and in the description below. Thanks again for watching. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next one.